Good evening. Hey, everybody. It's me, John D. Villarreal. How are we doing out there? Unbelievable. Okay, a lot. We're doing a lot here. There's a lot to talk about here. I'm going to open the chat. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. As promised, I'm going to talk about what's going on. I have a lot of announcements to talk about. We're going to talk about sort of the road ahead. I can't announce everything, and it's about 10:30 right here, East Coast time, because I had a lot of things I had to do today. And anytime I'm sort of off, and there's just so much to do, so some of you may catch this on the replay, and that's totally fine. I can't announce everything. I can't lay it all out there. I'm going to make this sort of quick, at least for me, right? And there's just so much to talk about. First of all, let's talk about, I don't even know what order to take this in. Automotive. Let's talk about automotive. So with Audi Lakeland right now, great team. Really, I mean, honestly, it's interesting, right? I mean, I'm excited to go to work. It's cool. Tony Zeta leads the team. Danny, Giovanni. I mean, just so many. It's great there. The team's awesome. The brand's awesome. Ownership, leadership, everything. Like everybody, I talked to a lot of people out there. I mean, obviously one of the keys is traffic. I mean, super important, right? And I don't walk on water. I've said that before. We have a plan. I'm going to lay some of that out tonight. Not all of it, obviously. Let me take my glasses off so I know they reflect here. Hold on one second. So I can't lay all of it out, but I'll lay some of it out and talk about what we're going to do. But I have sort of a hybrid role there, right? In terms of sales and marketing, I am sort of limited. I'm working at a disadvantage in terms of, I have to be home half the week and there half the week. So it's about a 2-hour commute one way for me. So it's not so, I mean, again, not making excuses, not complaining. It's fine. It's what I signed up for. It's okay. But at the same time, like, I don't pretend that I'm going to sell 30 cars at a store that's a mid-sized store, right? It's just not going to, those physics don't work. If the store sells 70, I don't pretend that I'm going to sell, 30 on a part-time, schedule. But so far, so good. I'm seeing definite. I don't want to get super specific in this. It's not the topic of this, but I'm seeing definite. We have a plan, and what's great is that leadership's bought into this plan. We haven't even begun. I mean, we just this much that we've unrolled the plan. Okay. The idea is to break records. We're trying to break the new car record this month. Obviously, used cars, customer acquisition, all these things, the same things that everybody else is dealing with. To some degree, Florida has some snowbird type of, some people suffer from that. I talked to people here, more in the Sarasota area. It's, supposedly it's slow during the summer. So it's all the things going on. Again, what I like to say is I can't reinvent or make the market, but I want to beat the market, right? So I mean, physics and car physics operate just like everything else. So there is no super magic on that. I have so much on my plate. It's like 2 or 3 jobs at once easily, plus everything I'm doing to help my wife and everything we're doing to help supercharge my little girl so she can get into a gifted magnet school. And there's just, and listen, again, lots of parents, lots of people dealing with this right now. We're in a recession or we're in some economic hard times, right? And I think a lot of people are juggling 2 or 3 things. So nothing super unusual there, but par for the course. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right where I'm at right now. And, again, with the caveat of it was always going to be a hard situation. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make full-time money on part-time work while I work on all these other types of things. And we'll see. I had a conversation with a business leader today who called me up, wanted some advice on YouTube and some other stuff. And I said, well, it's like, how's it going? I said, well, I'm in between. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was funny. It was something like I'm in between, totally winning and totally failing. It's like, oh, I get it. I'm like that. Like, right. So, I mean, I don't know about totally winning, but we're doing well. So let's get to the highlights. So far so good. Signs of there's this last week we saw that the flashes of greatness that we've seen before. We're seeing some opportunities. The challenge is absolutely bringing in the customers. There's no question about that. When the customers come in, I think we do a great job. Other things are lining up, and there's been a heavy lift in trying to line these other things up, and it's about ready to really, get going right now. We're going to get into all that and all the other stuff and how you can get involved if you want to, and what it means and how we're trying to sort of beat the market and reinvent the game in automotive. But so far, so good. So the short story is, logistically challenging, mathematically challenging, all the stuff that you'd expect. I'm also turning the chat on. If you want to chat on me, I can definitely see it. I think from YouTube, not sure about the other ones. I'll have to catch up on Facebook and LinkedIn later, maybe, but sometimes some of that comes through, and I think, so we'll see. I'll try to respond if I see it. But, I want to be part of the team that breaks the records. We want to line things up. I'm putting the investment in now. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? And that's the other thing. It's like, if I was just focused on sales, and, I might have a shot at that top of the leaderboard. And I'm not saying I'm not going to go for that. And I'm not saying I'm not going to be in that mix because I am the record breaker. But it's really about, and this is really what I would urge a lot of leaders out there in the automotive space and in business space. It's so hard honestly, like, people that I'm super close with, I know at the end of the month, like, I can't even get them on the phone unless it's like some kind of like, hey, I got to, because everybody's on the treadmill and they all have this, it's all cyclical in the timing, and I totally get it. It's so important, and it's scary, right? But it's so important to just step back for a second, build a better mousetrap, be strategic, look at where you need to be, and then be able to address it at that stage. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm making the investment right now to make a better situation for everybody in the team right there, because I believe this is going to work. And I think that if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same results, maybe a little better, maybe a little bit worse, right? And so I think that I looked at that store and I'm like, this is an amazing store. It has a lot of potential. I talked to someone and like, oh yeah, my impression was that it okay, I'm not even going to get into that. I'll just say this. It's not going to happen by itself. Being in between Tampa and Orlando, it's not going to happen by itself. This is what I'm saying. This is automotive math. This is the fairy tales that people tell themselves. Like, hey, the brand is just going to do it by itself. Hey, the location is just going to do it. All these different. It's like, no, it's not. It doesn't work like that. If everyone else is having challenges, then we're going to have challenges too. I don't pretend otherwise. Right. And if the store has always tracked this, if the record's been this, well, it's been there for a reason. Like, as I've always said, a 30-car store is a 30-car store for a reason. A 100-car store is a 100-car store for a reason. A 200-car store is a 200-car store for a reason. It's all of the systems and the people in place that make it that. And everything else, the brand, the market, all these things, everything contributes to that. But there's a lot of, it's that inertia, right? That business inertia. There's a lot of business inertia that happens with the store. It's personnel, it's motivation, it's training, it's processes, it's everything that contributes to that. So I recognize that when I step into, I may be a 20, 30, 40 car person full time when I'm focused on that, right? But when make the main thing or whatever it is, but the thing is like I'm the main thing, right? For me, I don't want to get distracted on these things, but the point is this, is again, if I'm my best at a store that is doing all of the same things, and the store is a medium-sized store, we get incrementally better, and that's fine. That's better, right? But in order to transform a 50, 70, 80 car store into a 100, 120 car store, you have to totally change the game. You have to upgrade a lot of things there. You have to say, okay, what are my gating items? How do I improve these things? And how do I build this store for that? And classically, the move is, let's just hire a bunch of salespeople. I don't believe in that. If that's needed, then that's needed. Again, I don't want to get distracted here, as I often do in terms of the details, because I'm a detail person. I like to, drill down and analyze and roll out the details. I don't want to be glib. I want to be factual and detailed, in my opinion. And of course, this is all my personal opinion. All the knowledge and facts, and I cast this person all for entertainment personally. Please check out everything you do is at your own risk. Okay. So it's a work in progress, and we're working on it. There's great signs of success. I'm having fun. I like going to work. It's great and everything like that. But I understand the challenges. I mean, again, I'm trying to get full time money on part time work. I'm making that investment to remake a store. If I'm successful, and it's not me, it's the team led by Tony Zeta and Danny and Gina Walsh and Mitchell Cavalli and everything like that. So, and they're empowering me and allowing me, and we're working together. If everyone comes together and with the plan here, and then we're successful, then it's a credit to everybody, right? So it's an interesting challenge. It's an exciting challenge. It's a difficult challenge to try to break records in a market where everyone I talk to on the phone, they're all scared, right? And not all. I don't want to say it like that, but it's like, hey, John, it's tough, right? I get it. Reality's hit. What did I tell you? 2023 reality's hit. So that's that. So we're working on that. That has to work because that's sort of like the main thing and how I keep things together, just like how you keep things together in your life, whether it's in your job, your business, whatever it is. So we're working on that. But in the meantime, I realize I have a couple other things that we're going to roll out here. If successful, this is the absolute resume super enhancer, platinum, whatever like that. And it's not, and I don't want to say that the wrong way, but I'm working on a bunch of other things too at the same time, of course. One of which is tied to this, and that's part of the reason I went there. And I'm happy to announce here at the 11:30 minute mark or whatever that it's very likely we're trying to button everything up. I'm working through working through signatures and documentation and contracts and all that type of stuff. But I should hopefully be going live with the John D. Villarreal show in the greater Tampa Bay area, Tampa, Sarasota, Lakeland, the greater Tampa Bay area, regional area, if you will, on the Fox News station here, WHBO, 10:40 a.m. And it's going to be simulcast. We're going to do it on LinkedIn. We're going to do it on YouTube. We're going to do it on Facebook as well. Although LinkedIn, I may have to repost it later, but I'm not sure about live. Anyway, we're going to have a simulcast portion of it, at least on YouTube and Facebook. And we're going to do, obviously, live on the radio as well. And it's going to be great. And we're going to show how this is going to work for automotive. And radio's obviously been a big component of automotive. It's going to be a different kind of show. I haven't even fully... I've talked to ownership and I have full range and wherewithal to do whatever I want to do because obviously I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it in markets like Miami, Salt Lake City, Sacramento, San Francisco, etc. So I've always done major market. I've started off in major market talk radio and I've been told by one of the greats that I'm a quote unquote natural. So that's awesome, right? And hopefully I've proven that and we're going to do it. But I want to we're going to try something different. We're going to have a lot of automotive, right? We're going to have a lot of automotive. We're going to talk about that, but it's not going to be a 2-hour commercial. It's going to be 4 to 6 p.m. So it's perfect drive time, everything. It's going to be news talk. Obviously I've got to fit with the format. We're going to get into some politics. We're going to get into some news talk, but I'll probably touch it a little here, a little there. It's not going to be like the prime focus. There'll be times where if that's the news, then that's the news, right? And we have to talk about it. And you're going to want to talk about it. But it's really going to be heavily like entrepreneurship, automotive lifestyle. It's going to be venture capital. It's going to be technology. We're going to have different points of view. We're going to have guests on. We're going to let them talk, right? I mean, I talk a lot. I like to have conversations, right? I mean, I can't promise I'll sit on my hands the whole time, so to speak, and do the. I don't know. There's a bunch of hosts that are doing this now, sort of the Tucker Carlson thing, which is great. I mean, I'm nothing. I get that. I think there's some value in that, but I also like the sort of rapid exchange of information and the back and forth. I think that makes it a little bit more exciting. It's just my personality. And it's just my brain's always moving fast. So the radio show should be coming. It should be this Monday. And we look forward to you joining that and doing that. And in fact, to that extent, I've talked to a number of owners in different groups and business owners and dealerships. And I think there's significant interest. I think we already have maybe a couple sponsors lined up. We'll see. Certainly we have one lined up and I think we have in the somewhere in the 2 to 4 range. We'll see. And I haven't even focused on that. We haven't even launched yet, right? I haven't even really focused on that because I've been so busy with everything else. And again, we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to get people involved. It's going to be very much involved. It's not going to be, well, I don't want it to be just total monologues. It's going to be news you can use. It's going to be kind of living your best life. It's going to be very positive. Maybe a Gary Vee meets Joe Rogan, meets Shark Tank, meets Top Gear, meets, obviously John Villarreal and everything like that. So that's that. So if you're interested in that, if you want to partner with that, if that's something that's interesting to you, again, very heavily business focused, entrepreneurship focused, tech focused, but also lifestyle focused, also family focused. It's going to be, we may even get into relationships. We're going to get into news talk. We're going to get into different things, right? That's one of the reasons why I have my choice of stations. And rather than doing like the sports station, that's maybe a little bit more, I don't know, I want to say, maybe a bigger, whatever. I don't want to be lit. I want to have wide breadth, and news talk, allows you to do that. And I think this is good. So that's what we're going to do that. And I'm going to show that radio is still very viable. And I'm going to show that it's very relevant. And I'm going to show how to use it and how we're going to work everything in and how it's all going to work together. And it's going to be a very multimedia type of deal. So that's that. Okay. What else? Well, what else is that, like, people seem to have really liked the podcasts I've been doing, the live shows, right? We're doing it with over there at out of Lakeland, and I'm telling you, almost every show I'm getting, like, I'm hearing from general managers, I'm hearing from like corporate executives, I'm hearing from owners, I'm like almost every show. They're texting me, they're talking to me, they're waiting. Happened again today. I had a conversation, and I am going to in fact, we're going to be joined pretty soon by Jerry Raymond of Jerry Raymond Automotive up north, who has some pretty interesting news, and he'll be joining the program again. Well, we may have news. I'm not going to jump the shark on this one, but we had a very good, interesting conversation. He loves the shows, and obviously I do stuff with him, right? And that you can check my LinkedIn on that. I don't want to sit here and just resume drop on everything. But he's like, yeah, I can't tell you how many people talk to me about that, John. And it's not even that. So they watch it at live, but then they'll watch it later. Or when they Google it, it comes up. When Jerry Raymond Automotive, it comes up first. I'm like, yeah, because I have a big channel and I know how to do, all the stuff and etc. And so that's what I'm saying. You've got some skills. So there's a very interesting discussion there, and loves the show and loves what we're doing. And that's another owner, right? That looks at the stuff and again, very highly watched, very closely watched. And I think this is a time that I talked about this before. So many times it's like, oh, this store versus this store, this brand versus this brand, even within the same group or something like that. And to me, I really feel like this is about collaboration. This is about coming together. This is about helping people out. This is about different business models. Instead of just, you have someone like me, instead of just putting me in a sales box in a closet, okay, oh, now you're a finance major or a sales major or whatever. And I say, like, if I was just, we had some sushi. If I was just doing automotive, full blast, that's it. That's all I want to do. I really believe that given my experience, skill level, records, everything like that, I really should be at a general manager level right now. I really believe that. And I think that I can do well and everything like that. But I have other things that I like and other things, and I have those conversations, and I want to be prepared. I want to be in line for that if that's what I want to do. But I think the marketing, the strategy, the training, there's so many other things I can do. And then when you're in those roles, that's kind of like, there's a real commitment to the time. It's hard to have the schedule. It'd be tough to have the schedule that I have, being able to do that, unless you're that, GM at a certain level and you have great managers. You've been there for it's it's kind of like everything's automated. I mean, that's a different deal. And I don't, it's not like I've been a GM for 20 years or anything like that. But anyway, that's my opinion. But I'm also fascinated because I there's a lot of people that bring sort of DSM or GM skills to the table. I mean, not a ton that are awesome, but I mean, there's a significant amount, right? A lot more than bring all the other things that I bring to the table. And I'm very curious about what I'm, trying to lay this out of what I'm trying to do here. I think it's different. I think it's new. I think if we're going to we're going to do something totally different. If this works, it's game over. And a lot of people are going to have to wake up to it. This isn't like one story. I mean, this is like this. If this works, this is totally shifting everything in a major, like, Super Bowl level market for automotive, in a top 5, top 10 market for automotive, to be able to transform a store in that zone that's already doing well, that already has great processes, great ownership, everything in place, great leadership in place, Gino Walsh and Tony Zita and the team. So to be able to do that, you can't, undersell that. That is massive. It hasn't been done yet. I'm not taking any credit. I'm not claiming it will be done. I'm saying I'm going to try to do it, and I think we have an opportunity to do it if we execute on this plan. It's going to be, it's not one thing. It's not just the radio show. It's a lot of things. I'm not going to lay it out here. Like I came up with something today, and I'm texting the team. Boom, 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 boom. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this and this and this and this and this. This is how it all works together. Whatever. And that was just, that was like a 5-10 minute sketch, right? So, you know, you got to be able to take a risk. You can't let this market freeze you. You've got to be able to do something different. And I applaud the leadership there, and we're going to try it. We're going to try it. I'm going to try it. I mean, I'm pushing my family life here. I'm pushing my body. I'm pushing everything here. You know, the commute. It's not like I'm running a marathon every day, but well, look, I mean, I put in my 10, if I'm at work, I'm putting in 10,000 plus steps every day, right? I'm working all the time. I mean, I'm full blast there. I'm bell to bell when I'm there. And then it's a 2-hour drive home. And then it's dad duty, and it's doing all the shopping and everything like that. Then it's trying to work out. It's trying to, educate there's a lot on the plate, right? On all the videos and all the, everything else that I'm trying to do. So believe me, it's a lot on the plate, but we're going to try to do it. Okay. So that's that. I'm also have been trying to talk to some different groups. I'm dabbling with the idea of, and this is a longer term thing, right? And this will fit into some other stuff. Do I want to pass the Florida bar and look at, maybe getting, being, looking at that scene here in Florida, or what I want to do, what I want to do with that? I don't know. I think you look at what's going on with big law, and you look at a lot of people opening up firms or small boutique firms, and I think it's a lot more viable now, right? And I really don't know, right? I mean, I have to study, do all that. I mean, TBD. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on there. But I think that it's there's a lot of I'm seeing some different models out there about, hey, the very business focused, some different things. I'm not sure. I don't know. I like business. I like media. I'm not sure that I'm going to return to that world. But when I did it, back in California, I thought I was really, really good. Right. And at least from, so anyway, we'll see. I mean, I think that's down. I don't know. We'll see. I think that's down the road. I'm really undecided about that. And, right now I'm totally business. I'm not doing obviously I'm not doing anything. I'm totally business focused and everything like that. And of course we're going to comply with everything and do everything exactly correctly and all that. So it's like, do I want to sit myself down to study and do all that and blah, blah, blah. It's been a number of years, but yeah, I mean, when I was in California, I was with a top firm, and I crushed it, in my opinion, at my level in many ways, and did things that I don't think has ever been done before or since in certain ways. But that's sort of down the road. What I'm also looking at, and I cannot fully announce this yet because I'm not ready to really get into this. Well, one of the things I'll stay for a second on the automotive thing, because of I've been talking to lots of owners, lots of GMs, lots of different people that just kind of hit me up with the shows and different things like that. And there's a need, dude. There's a need for the marketing. And I talked to Gino about this before. I mean, and I talked to someone totally out of, they had their own business. It's like, to what extent do I just want to do? I mean, maybe I set up a marketing agency. Maybe I start picking up some clients and stuff like that. Maybe we do some of that, and because I can do that at scale pretty rapidly, and I think there's a lot of need for that. So again, that really goes back to what we've talked about before, John D. Villar Digital Ventures. I mean, I'm literally doing it. I've been doing it for a minute, right? I mean, I just haven't called it that, and I haven't gone out there and tried to take on a bunch of other clients, but that's effectively what I've been doing, right? Using marketing and business and strategy with some sales and, kind of weaving together sort of multi-disciplines for small, medium-sized businesses that don't have the money or the wherewithal or to hire a bunch of agencies, or maybe they have an agency, but they use them and they can leverage, the skill set and sort of the cost footprint at a better, with better leverage here, right? With better overall, cost benefit analysis, if you will. And so I think that people are saying hey, this works. This is cool. I was been talking with one group and it was too far and everything like that. And then And I don't have a patent on doing videos or anything like that. But all of a sudden, I saw a great video come on, and I texted him like, "Hey, great video, I like that, whatever." Which is, listen, that's cool. I'm all about it. I'm not a hater, whatever. It's fine. It just shows that it works, or people want this stuff. Now, I think I'm able to be more effective with it. In fact, I had that one of the calls I had someone in the technology space that's very knowledgeable. And they're like, "Hey, John, how do you do this? I've been doing this and it just hasn't been working, right? I mean, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, look, there's no magic but I mean, if there was, then that's all I'd be doing, right? I mean, there's no, here, hit it and it's viral. But here's how you look at it. Here's how you would do it. Here's how you set yourself up for a free throw instead of a 3-point shot, and blah, blah, blah." And we had a great conversation. They were excited about stuff, and they have a bunch of points of synergies we can work on and we're going to do. And I was excited and all that. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I get excited about a lot of different things. So I think that need is there for that marketing space, right? Not just in tech and venture, but in small and medium-sized businesses. And so that, what I've already, it's all coming together. It's nothing different. It's nothing new. It's just, I've been doing it, and now it may be able to accelerate. The radio show is definitely part of that. And also has, I think it's potentially very effective for automotive. Now, I can't lay all this out. So I have to make the decision about what, I have to try to work all that out. And I want to do it all. And we're working on it. That's all I can do. I want to be effective. I want to be, do really well. I want to break records. I want to help the team or whatever. And I want to keep moving in my career and in my life and what I'm trying to do and my goals and all that. Okay, fine. Also with the courses, I had the courses, they were ready to drop. My hard drive took just went out. And so thankfully I have the raw files. I got to re-edit them. I got to redo the PowerPoints, or just do some abbreviated version, or maybe I'll pause. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but those were ready to launch. They're almost ready to launch. At the same time, I don't know that how many, I think people are going to like them, but I think I have to set these other things up first to sort of be ready to launch those, if you will. I mean, they were ready to launch, but if I would have launched them a month ago, maybe the sales would have been here. If I launched them 3 months from now, when I have other things in place, maybe the sales would be here. I mean, I don't know, right? That's my guesstimate on that, right? It's not like I was going to launch them a month ago and I expected to make $2 million off it. I didn't expect that, right? So the courses are there. They're coming. We're going to do more. I have to rebuild them, and while I'm juggling all these other things. The other thing I want to lay out is so the summary is, don't be surprised if you see me start doing a lot of stuff at scale here, media-wise, different clients, different things like that. And hopefully we're going to be able to generate some real success in breaking records at Audi Lakeland and everything like that, and show a proof of concept. I really want to kind of dive in and show that proof of concept and win for the team, and obviously give back to the people that have been good to me with Cavalli Auto Group and Gina Walsh and Tony Zeta and Danny and everything like that. Okay. The other thing, and I'm going to touch on this, and then we'll get into some other stuff. We'll get into some news and we'll wind the show. I'm at the 30-minute mark, 29-minute mark here. I'll probably go to 40, 45. That's it. Because I got to do videos tonight. I get a lot of other stuff. And my voice is kind of going out. The other thing I would say is I'm probably going to do some kind of a group. I'm going to touch on it super light, right? I'm not going to get into specifics. I have a certain theory, and this has been it's not like, again, I don't pull things out of the hat. Like all these things, if you look at my LinkedIn, I've been working on all this stuff, but it's going to be related to technology. It's going to be related to media. It's going to be related to venture capital. And it might be also professional organizations. And I think that it's very, very needed. And I think that the timing is great. And I think it's going to be pretty cool, right? So, and I'll probably do some events, right? I've done that before. We were pretty successful with that. And I think that we might see that again. So I've already, texted some people. All the feedback now has been positive, which I really, really appreciate. So I haven't totally decided on how we're going to do that, but I want to have something, or at least a concept in mind before I launch on the radio show. We may not be able to accomplish that. There's just so much to do. But I'm trying. But you're starting to get a picture of all the different things that I've been working on and stuff like that. So that's kind of what what we're looking at right now in the midst of my wife, working on, trying to do her thing, trying to, whether it's, medical residency or trying to be a doctor over here. She was a doctor in Israel. She's an anesthesiologist over there. She's trying to be a doctor here, or look, she's looking at physician's assistant and, whatever. She's all about medical stuff and whatnot. And that's great and stuff. And so that's very cool. In the meantime, I also have something on the side that's just generating passive income that we've been scaling really well. And yeah, it's been, great growth. I mean, you're talking about, right now, I think we're looking at 3x growth. I don't know if we're going to see that this month, but I mean, it's been popping, and it's been nice, and it's been meaningful. So I've got that in the back pocket too, and I have some other businesses that I'm looking at lined up as potential investments, passive income, stuff like that. So I told you before, everything. Listen, I'm a 4-time national champion. I'm a super genius. I'm a superstar. I'm, the 3 elite graduate degrees. I don't play around, dude. I have fun. I think that's where people get mistaken right there. Like seriously mistaken, because I talk to, I think like maybe people in the professional realm that, they pull up this video from wherever and, this guy, he does, yeah, I don't know. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong, dude. Because I mean, like I said, I'm nobody. I just know a lot of people. I know a lot of things. And don't be surprised if the engine gets going, the little engine that could, and don't be surprised if the engine turns into a rocket ship. And then when you come knocking, then we'll see what's what. And it's fine. I don't care. It's all good, dude. I mean, the thing of it is that I've said it before. I think that things are so askew right now and so tweaked. A 50% solution is not a 100% solution. Who's been saying that now? I've been saying that for over a year or something like that, or somewhere around there. Mr. Wonderful just said that. But, Kevin O'Leary, right? Shark Tank. So he just said that. He's been talking about that for a while, about some of these corporations and that, some of the stuff in the news out there. I don't want to even get into that stuff, but yeah, I've been saying that for a while now. And that's the thing. Anytime you shut yourself off, like who cares? Again, this is what's so crazy. It's like, I'm in the suit. I'm in, and this and that, and I've did this many years at this law firm, and then this many years at this law firm, and I always have a suit, and I'm at the beach and I'm in a suit, and then when I'm over here and I'm in a suit, and that, what, if that's how you roll, that's the image you want to project, God bless you, fantastic. But guess what, dude? I was at the law firm and I worked for the partner that incorporated Apple Computer and saw Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs roll up in tie-dyes and bicycles and flip-flops. And like, it just, when you start, I get the image game. I understand that. I get that. But when you start, and I'm not alleging anything, but if you start acting like a snob, you start eliminating people because of whatever, how they're dressed or politics or title or whatever like that. Like, dude, it doesn't work like that. Do you understand the explosive nature of the internet right now and how, like, there's 15-year-old kids that have retirement money? There's like, Mr. Beast. Look at that dude. 10 years ago, people were laughing at Jimmy, right? And now, not laughing, but maybe, I mean, and now look at that dude. I think I just saw a stat, like $54 million last year. Insane. 1 year has generated more money than most of these law firms ever will. Consulting firms, not the big ones. Of course, I understand that the people starting their own businesses, stuff like that. No, that's one person. I get it. I understand that. I'm not saying everybody gets to be Mr. Beast or everyone's going to play in the NBA. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you cannot limit your mind to the stuff right here. I just don't get it, dude. I mean, I'll talk to anybody. I don't. It's like when you limit yourself, you limit your options. That is not a smart thing. When you just say, it's like, it's so funny. Like people just don't understand how do I want to say this? What's the right way? I don't want to be too, hyperbolic or anything like that, but I don't think people are always aware of the social programming they have, right? And it's like, dude, I mean, if you would have 200 years ago, people were wearing wigs, dude. You know what I'm saying? They're putting powder on their face or something like that. We would think that that's strange and clowny now if you're not on like Broadway or something. But that was normal. That was professional then. That was the way to go. And so, was it right then and wrong now? Was it wrong then and right now? Like, I mean, again, you're limiting yourself. Like, it's just unbelievable. What I'm saying is, people overlook talent. We're having this discussion. We're having this discussion about work. I had this discussion with Gina Walsh talking about sacrifice and stuff, and there's this discussion about return to office and millennials and all this stuff, and I was reading this thing from the millennial perspective, and listen, I'm someone that's lived with sacrifice. I get it. I'm a super hard worker. That's just how I am. My dad was a workaholic, whatever. I've just grown up with that. I get it. That's in my DNA. But I think I've also, they talk about the alpha males, the sigma males. I mean, I think I'm probably more of a sigma male, lone wolf type of dude, whatever. And I just I've always charted my own path. Like no one's, I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm doing what I'm going to do. It's my life. No one's going to tell me what to do. Not society, not this. I'm professional. I do everything right. And don't get me wrong. I understand that. But I'm going to call my own shots, player. That's it. If you want to work with John D. Villarreal, if you want to hang out with me, you want to be in my life, that's how it's going to roll. And be clear. I may not be part of a team. I may not be like I didn't have a coach in powerlifting. I didn't have a team in powerlifting, whatever. I just showed up and win, player. That's what I did because I put in the work, because I knew I was the best. I did what I did. So the point of it is, but flip it around. The millennials, what they were saying is, at least this article, I don't know if they speak, I'm not, but this article was saying, listen, and I think they talked to different people, obviously. Life is short. We've seen it with the pandemic. We don't believe in the corporate ladder. We don't think we're going to be rewarded for that. We worked hard and it didn't do anything for us. People at the top are making the money. We're not making the money, and inflation, all these things. And I get it, I mean, everyone has a right to live the way that they want to live. It's your life. And it's just so interesting to me of particularly with social media, Instagram and LinkedIn and all these things. And I love LinkedIn, I love social media, I love all these things, but you do have to understand the impact that it has and how important image is. And it's the same thing, like I was trying to get a hold of, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get specific about it, but it's business, customers, life, personal stuff, dating stuff. It's all the same thing. People make time for things they want to make time for. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm sorry. I'm really busy right now. Okay, cool. If a super huge client called, or the president of the United States called, or celebrity called, or your relative called, guess what? You'd have time. And that's fine. Like, nobody owes me anything. I get it, but let's not pretend. Just be straight about it. Hey, tell me what you want. You're not a priority right now. Whatever it is. I try to be brutally honest with people because I try to be straight up with people. I also try to make time for people. Because here's the thing, and I have the same conversations. Be careful, I get in trouble with my wife. The time it takes for you to kind of duck someone or evade someone or something like that or whatever is really not, well, I talk a lot, so I'm different, but it's probably about the time it would take to actually just talk to him and just handle it, just deal with it. What's that old saying? You want to do something right, do it yourself, kind of thing. And it's like, I just practice dramatic honesty and dramatic engagement, right? And I'd rather take, I don't know, I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm not totally laying this out fully. And it's okay. It doesn't need to be laid out here. It's fine. I'm just saying I've seen it so many times before because one of my friends from law school said, hey, John's, it's like a phoenix. Whenever you think he's done, he rises from the ashes higher than ever. Of course. Because it's just, dude, I'm going to do, it's like, it's so unfortunate in so many ways that people, when you can help them, as soon as they need something, oh, they're your best friend. They got all the time in the world. And I understand that there's a transactional nature aspect to the world. And I will say that one of these people I have more respect for than maybe some of the other, and I think they know who they are, and I appreciate it. And I think he tried to weave, and I don't want to say much about it, but it's fine. And I'm not here to air anything out either, at all. It's fine. Nobody owes me anything. It's totally cool. It's more of just, it's not about that. It's about making a point about what I see going on there, because I think it's an allegory, it's an analogy to a lot of things that are happening out there, whether it's in the career world, whether it's in social stuff. It's just so strange. We see it in politics. We see it in the news. Like, are you doing the right thing, or are you doing the politically expendable thing? Are you expedient thing? Are you doing something that just benefits you, or are you doing something that's right in the situation, right? It could be anything. It's There's so many different things. It could be that in compensation. It could be that with dealing with the customer. It could be all kinds of different things. So I think that there's what I'm getting at is nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes me anything. I get it, but I think that just like the collaboration thing. I think there's a hunger and a need for a different way here for people and companies and brands that do the right thing, by their employees, that do the right thing for people, that do the right thing by each other. That we've got to get a. There's just such this almost disposable nature of society today, whether it's cancel culture, whether it's I didn't get my raise, deuces, I'm out, or hey, you didn't hit the metrics, you're gone, or what. There's just this very transactional nature here. If you can't help me right now, we got quarterly earnings, whatever. If you can't help me right now, I have no time for you. Or if you're not fitting this checklist of executives should look like this and be like this and whatever like that, then forget it. It's just crazy. Or if you don't have a certain resume, it doesn't make any sense, right? Some of it, like I understand, like again, don't hire me to run a nuclear power plant. I get it. I understand that. But, I think that people are very locked into certain thinking. They're not thinking 3D chess. They're thinking checkers. They're not thinking 3D chess. They're thinking checkers. They're thinking very two-dimensional, very linearly. And you need to be thinking, third, fourth, fifth dimensionally, right? You need to be thinking very dynamically. Very, very different. It's a different game out there. And I think that those companies that can do that, and I will, some of this is kind of complex. I almost, that's part of why I'm excited about Andy Lakeland. It's so much work to do there, but we're going down that road. I almost have to show it before it's understandable. Does that make sense? And this is the curse and the benefit and the curse of being a super genius and stuff like that. Like sometimes I have stuff in my head that I know, that I feel in my DNA, that I know is true, but I can't even articulate it for a little bit. And I'm really good at communicating and stuff. And that was the other thing too. When I was a kid, I always had super high horsepower. Like I wasn't always like it was like people think it's not all upside. I've always said that it's not all upside. If you're different than normal, then the world is different. You see, you don't fit in, right? You don't fit into normal. Anyway, it was very hard when I was a kid, just communicating and stuff like that, and I had to work really hard on that. Probably that's why I'm a better. I don't know. Who knows? But listen, everybody has challenges. And I'm blessed and I'm thankful. So don't get me wrong, but it's not all upside is what I'm saying. And I think that it's good to be grounded in reality and understand the transactional value and how you bring value and what you bring to a situation. But I also think it's very important to, again, think dynamically. How can I, like if you, I don't have something right now. Like, if I had a glass right here, you could say, hey, that's a glass, right? And you can use it to drink water, stuff like that. But an artist might look at that glass very differently. Might be able to make something totally different out of that you would never have thought about. Something very beautiful, very unique, very bespoke. You may be able to use that glass as all kinds of different ways to make a kaleidoscope. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put things in a different perspective. And also think that regardless of the transactional value, we have to look at the humanitarian value and just how I think it comes back to trying to create efficient markets where you do not get thrown off by the noise, the social programming, your own bias, whatever it might be, where you can see the true value in things, when you can increase and add value. And I maybe that's my I always want to make things better, and I always want to maximize stuff. So in any event, I don't want to get into esoteric land here, but I hope I touched on some things and illuminated some things. The bottom line is this: we're work in progress at I like. So far, so good. Still a lot of work to do. The market is tough. People are liking the shows. We're gonna should be launching a radio show soon. Maybe launching a digital marketing agency soon. There might be ways to collaborate. If you want to be on the show, I want to do other stuff like that, let me know, and we'll talk about that. We're going to try to do news you can use, things that are going to be helpful, things that can improve your life. It's not just going to be about politics. It's going to be about a lot of things that are on your mind, things that are in the news, things that we're concerned about. And in fact, I might take 10 minutes to touch on that here in a second. I probably will. Just because it's, I won't be, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of things going on. And probably be doing something maybe with the group that might be, with some professional stuff, tech, venture capital, stuff like that, whatever. And all the things I've been talking about before are sort of going to come, we're going to continue to roll with that. Now, let's talk about some stuff in the news right now. The Trump stuff. They keep trying to what are they doing? Have people had enough of this? I think they have. I really think that they have. I don't think it's working. I mean, Chris Christie got in, Mayor Suarez got in. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, hey, where's Ron DeSantis? Where's Governor DeSantis? You know what I mean? Great governor, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, it goes back to what I said before. My analysis has been right on. And the more people come in the race, it's not hurting Trump. You could say that it's helping him. I don't think it's hurting him. I don't see anything stopping Trump from being the nominee at this point, and I don't see anything stopping President Biden from being the nominee. I think it's going to be President Trump versus President Biden. Kevin McCarthy, Speaker McCarthy, I don't agree with everything that he's doing, but dude, he's got a 5-seat majority, or maybe 4 now. I don't I think given everything, I'm pretty impressed with him. He's doing a pretty darn good job. Right. And I like the rhetoric. I like the back and forth with the CNN reporter and stuff. I think that was good. Jim Jordan, I think a lot of people are stepping up. Like I said, it's not just about Trump. It's about taking care of people. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Ricky says, let's see here. Here we go. Ricky M, great America is a great benefit for the rest of the world. Yeah, I mean, I believe that, right? And here's why I believe that, Ricky, is because it's not just about, hey, we're Americans and pro-America. Everybody probably wants their own country to do well, of course, right? That's fine. It's normal. A lot of people do anyway. It's about that America it's not like, there's nothing, it's founded upon ideals and a constitutional republic and freedoms and Bill of Rights and all these things that are pretty unique, right? And some might say, the freedom and the opportunity and the social mobility and economic mobility might be under threat, right? Okay, fair enough. Ricky's basically saying that he's actually not American, and so I mean, look at that, right? Back to Ronald Reagan, shining beacon on a hill. Very interesting. People want opportunity. People want to be able to call their own shots. People want to be able to live their life. People don't want to be part of a, for lack of a better word, and I'm not alleging this. I'm just saying hypothetically, way back in the past, whatever, like that, a feudalistic structure or something like that. They don't want to be a serf. You know what I mean? Like they don't want they don't want to be part of corporate control or whatever, propaganda, media, or any of that type of stuff. Like most people just want to be left alone. They just want to have a nice family. They want to be successful. They want to do their things and whatnot. And it's just like, dude, I mean, we're seeing, people are alleging out there that there's two, justices, to what extent is the judicial system being weaponized, right? And I'm not alleging that. I don't know. I'm saying these are questions that are out there that other people are talking about. other leaders are talking about. I don't think it's whatever the facts are. I don't think it's good to have that potential perception out there. And you know, I mean, dude, we have a leading presidential candidate, with these legal issues. I mean, this is really a little crazy. It's pretty super crazy. And again, I don't want to get into it right here. That wasn't the purpose of that. We'll save that for the radio show and for some other stuff and for some other podcasts. But it's not. That's what I'm saying. This isn't a left-right thing. Like, we need to return to sanity. But anyway, look. I think this doesn't hurt Trump politically. I think it's helping. And I saw some spokesperson or surrogate for Governor Haley. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't hurt Trump now, but it's going to hurt Trump later. I don't think that's right, dude. It may be like, I don't know. That may be GOP, country club Republican thinking, Karl Rove thinking. I don't think that's going to work, buddy. I don't think that's going to work. Sorry. I don't see that. In fact, I've seen some people, I've seen more people, and, I've got, some people that they talk to me and get some information and stuff in terms of what they're seeing out there. Nothing, just what we're seeing out there, all public, obviously. And if anything, the vibe from a lot of the people that are following this stuff is like, hey, at this point, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but now it's only Trump. People are digging in on that because it comes down to whether we are able to pick our candidates or not. Or is the media going to pick them? Or are the Democrats going to pick them? Or is the judicial system it's just a little crazy, right? Meanwhile, what about all this other stuff? What about it's like, hold on a second. Let's see here. So Ricky, the left is insane. If the left completely took over the West again, the rest of the world will eventually fall too. I mean, dude, it's like, look, it's again, I don't want to be hyperbolic. I don't want to, but I think that it's what it makes America special. What makes a lot of, it's not, it's, a government has to represent the people, has to be representative over any significant period of time. Number one. Number two, people need to be free. Simple as that. Freedom, peace, love, opportunity, equality for everybody, right? And I want you to have control over your own life. Part of what motivates me, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to empower people. I'm trying to lift people up. I'm trying to do that. We all have to work hard and work together and work smart, right? It's inputs. It's work effort, with productivity, and that's what it is, right? So and that makes the world a better place. Not that life's all about work or anything like that, but if you want anything good, then you're gonna have to work hard, right? So it's there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. So let me just hit some highlights here and get out. So I think that, again, this is analysis. I'm not getting in the back and forth. The analysis is just what I see. I'm a political expert, and I could be right, I could be wrong, but this is what I see. I think Trump's going to win the nomination. I don't see anything that's going to really deter that. He may or may not do the debates. I think they do debates without Trump. I don't think it matters much. You have a lot of people in the race now. Will that line them up for VP or candidate slot, cabinet slots? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Depends, right? You go out there. I mean, you have to decide what you're going to try to do. If you go out there and you're the anti-Trump candidate and you're just slamming Trump, like Governor Christie, is he going to line up in the? What's the goal? Is the goal to win? Is the goal to get a cabinet spot? Is the goal to get a book deal? Is the goal to increase your speaking fees? Is the goal to be on cable news outlets that, the left-wing news outlets that don't like Trump? Or is the goal to just stop Trump? I don't know. I mean, I'm not alleging anything. I'm just asking questions, right? Logical questions. But I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think the amount of effectiveness, political effectiveness, and star power. And again, you may really dislike Trump and never vote for him, but you got to be honest about the analysis. You got to be honest about the analysis if you want to be a good, um, uh, uh, you know, if you want to know what's going on, in my opinion, and be effective in analyzing these things. On the left, uh, yeah, I mean we don't, we don't know, right? We don't know. I mean, so look, there are some people that have said that it's about controlling the party, and it's about and that also has potentially has a lot of other implications. Remember that the DNC and the RNC are they're not government organizations; they're private organizations, dude. So it's just there's really it's there's a whole discussion about how we nominate and elect people. That's a whole different thing. Anyway, on the Democratic side, Biden's running. So he's a president. So now what? And the other thing is, Vice President Harris, like we haven't, maybe I haven't looked closely enough, but I mean, I just think I don't know if we have other people running on the Democratic side. I don't know if there's going to be debates there either. It's very strange. And is this about debates and about voting day, or is this about ballots? I mean, there's just a lot of things on the table right now. I like Vivek Ramaswamy. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's done awesome when he's engaged with people on CNN and other people like that. I think he's done credit. I think if Trump wins, I think he's lining himself up for some kind of role, cabinet role. I think he's a star player right now, from what I've seen so far. Mayor Swartz is gonna be interesting to see what he says and what he does. I see no path whatsoever that he wins the nomination. But will he be a VP pick? Will he be a cabinet pick? I think those are long shots too. But it's going to be, a lot of it really. I've seen some comments that he made about Governor DeSantis before, weeks or a month ago or something like that. He said some stuff against President Trump, I believe, if I recall correctly. I may be wrong. So what I'm saying is, you've got the two front runners, President Trump and Governor DeSantis. What is Mayor Swartz? They're all in the same state, right? What's Mayor Swartz going to say about either of them? I mean, this is the choice, right, on the Republican side. Are you going to put out how much is you putting out your positive message? How much are you distinguishing yourself from the other candidates? How much are you going after the leaders? That's really where it's going to be. It's going to be very interesting to see there. I don't think we have that dynamic on the Democrat side because it's going to be President Biden. I don't know that there's going to be debates. I don't know that the media is going to hold him accountable. But meanwhile, we have Tucker out there now who's getting all these views, like crazy, tens of millions of views. 50 million, 70, some huge numbers. Megyn Kelly's show's coming up. You have Patrick Bet-David, Valuetainment. You've got Rumble not far from me over here. Dan Bongino and others are over there. You have Charlie Kirk also over close over here in the greater Tampa Bay area. And Turning Point USA's raised a bunch of money. So you've got a lot of other things in the mix. Then you look at some of these corporations, Disney, Bud Light, Target, others. There's some things moving now. And as I said before, like a 50% strategy, not a 100% strategy. I think we need to come together on this. And Patrick Bet-David, he's been very successful. He has a lot to talk about. There's other discussions too, right? And then I think that people are looking at, and I think this is global. It's a global conversation now. Then we also juxtapose that with or overlay news events, world events. Who knows? Who knows what happens? Who knows what happens in the world within the next year? The Fed paused. I think that's interesting. That kind of goes to my hunch that I think things are going to chill out and get a little better. We'll see. It's so many things are on the table right now. So I think there's so much to talk about. It's a great time to launch the radio show. We're going to have a lot to talk about. And I hope you join me. I want to have my thoughts out there. But I think My own view of it, when you sum it all up, is I think Trump's got momentum. I think that there has to be a choice on the Republican side of whether we're going to come together or not. And if we're not, that's a problem, right? Because you can't say like, oh, our issues are so important, or this is the most important election, or the Biden and the Democrats are really ruining things, but we're not going to support whomever, DeSantis, Trump, whoever is the nominee. I don't see how you get there on that. I like the leadership of Speaker McCarthy. Um, I think a lot of like, New York, I mean, what mainstream media, I mean, whatever, what other things, there's a lot of things going on out there. Changes at CNN. What's up with, there's a new, we got a King of England now. There's a lot of things that are happening now. And I think that this is a time of reflection. I think that the time of the, pandemic's over. I think the super left, hard, woke stuff, I think that people are like, I think that's over, dude. Like, that doesn't mean that, we don't want, I mean, again, peace, love, freedom, opportunity, equality, inclusion, all that stuff for everybody, right? But I think that, like, people want things that are going to work, and people want to be able to move forward, and people want to live their lives without having to think about politics 24/7. I said the wrong thing, I'm canceled. Like people are tired of the super woke cancel culture, super politics 24/7. It's just like, and I think that when people step back, you look at the level of like rah 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 propaganda, just the amount of just programming out there, dude. It's really crazy. Well, and so, I mean, different people have different thoughts, right? And so this is what I'm saying, though. This is the thing, like, and this is again to the Reagan comment, right? I mean, if you agree with someone 80%, like we have to think about, there is a practical nature of this. You can't have these. It's very hard to be effective politically if you have these like litmus tests and single issue voting and all this type of stuff. And I'm not sitting here telling anyone what to do or criticizing anybody, but I think the challenge on my side, conservative libertarian, is we need deep reflection. And I want to have people like Congressman Stubbe and Byron Donalds. That guy's a superstar. I love that dude. Congressman Byron Donalds and Anna Paulina Luna. I mean, these are all Congress people, near my area. I'd love to have them on the show and others. If you're a Democrat, I say, come on in. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, whoever. That's fine. Let's have it. Mayor Suarez, let's talk. Let's chop it up. Mayor Castor, whatever. But on my side, there needs to be some deep reflection on what's really important and how we unify and move together. And I think there has to be respect and acknowledgement. And to this extent, I can get where Chairwoman Rona McDaniel is talking about, in terms of, you got to respect the voters, dude. You got to respect the primary process. We don't want to see, hopefully, I think we have to have fair processes here. And at the end of the day, like, if Trump wins 60, 70%, 50, whatever of the delegates, or just Governor DeSantis or somebody else, you got to respect that. If you're going to be like, hey, it's my way, you can't have 2%, 5%, 10%, whether it's never Trumpers or whoever, controlling the party or vetoing stuff like that. Or whatever. It's not. I mean, politics are politics. Elections are elections. And I think in a lot of other countries and stuff, like my wife's Israeli and from Israel, I mean, there's these coalition governments. There's other places, there's coalition governments, and you have like lots of parties, and people have to. And I think that there's, but what I'm saying is, people have to have a reflection about what's really important. You can't have both ways. You can't say this is super important and everything's so bad and we need to win. But hey, if it's not my candidate, well, okay, well, if you're a Trump voter, is Governor Haley better than President Biden? Is Governor DeSantis better than President Biden? I mean, come on, like, please. That's not a question to me. That doesn't mean that, of course you can have your favorite. So we'll see. Similarly, I think that there's going to be some interesting conversations on the Democrat side, and I think it's beyond Democrats. I think it's also business. Like, what is business doing in this cultural stuff? And I think Kevin O'Leary, Shark talked about that. That doesn't mean that you can't make a statement, but you have to be rational. Ben and Jerry's doing a Ben and Jerry thing with their brand makes sense. You could even say Apple Computer. There's different brands. Maybe Starbucks. There's different brands that have stances. Black Rifle Coffee, whatever, right? There's different brands that have some different stances out there. And then there's stuff that doesn't make sense, right? Where it really kind of cuts across, almost like a push down or trying to impose upon your customer base. And it doesn't make sense, right? So I think that that's something to think about. Right. And I think that so I'm all for anyone saying whatever they want, and brands doing whatever they want, business doing whatever they want. But you have to be commonsensical about it. And there's things that make sense and things that don't make sense, and also understand the repercussions. I don't like the whole boycott thing. That's not really my thing. But at some point, like someone said, like conservatives feel like there's no other option, and no one's listening to them some way, in terms of like, well, I don't want to say that. That's not right. Let me revise and extend that. I don't think that's. Yeah, let me take that back. I don't like that. Let's. I think that some conservatives feel that maybe that's an effective option to be heard, right? But I don't like cancel culture. I don't like boycott nation. Either side, like, just stop. Don't try to. I wouldn't support people petitioning to throw Rachel Maddow off the. And just throwing a name out there. I don't know. I mean, and look, she's smart. She does her thing. She's entertaining. Whatever. I don't watch the show. I don't agree with a lot of things. I mean, what happened with this whole Russia hoax thing? I mean, and there's a lot of criticisms I have. But look, I mean, I can respect her craft, and so I look at it as a professional and stuff. And what I'm saying is, people need to lighten up, and people need to understand that some at the same time that there's some things that are super serious, and like you can't just, I can't reinvent physics of the universe because that's what I want to do. It's not going to work, right? Or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get too far afield. The point is this. As I said before, I go back to first principles. I think 2023 is the year that reality sets in. I think we're seeing that. And I think that people, actually that's a good end. I think people are going to have to find a practical way forward and a realistic way forward. That's it. You may want the candidate that you want, might not work out that way. You may want the economy you want, may not work out that way. You may want to rewrite the laws of physics of the universe. This is probably not going to work out that way. Whatever it is. Bottom line is, it's still the same questions. How do you improve your life? How can we maximize peace, love, freedom, opportunity, equality, liberty, opportunity for everybody? How do we work together? How do we come together? How do we find common ground? I mean, that's what it is, right? So in my mind, so we'll see. It's going to be exciting times. I want to help people out. I want to, I love the Tampa Bay area here, Sarasota, Lakeland, all that type of stuff, Tampa Bay, Clearwater, St. Pete, all those places. And we want to try to do something special here. We want to try to do something special in Florida. We want to try to do something special in America, something special worldwide. And, I'm going to do what I can to do well for myself, and do well for my family, do well for my team, and do well for you, and get everybody on the team. So there we go. That's what it is. So anyway, I got a lot of other stuff to do tonight. So I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much. I'll bid you goodbye. That's my minimum French sort of coming back here. Hope you have a great night out there. Wish everybody the best. And I will talk to you soon. Maybe also on the radio starting Monday, and I'll also try to respond to your comments and everything out there. And we should have hopefully even more good soon to announce soon. And I'm always working on stuff. So that's it. All right, everybody. Take care. Good night. God bless. See you later.